a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits, the bits, the bits, the bits, the bits.
Welcome to The Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Charlie.
And Robert.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Charlie.
Kiss, kiss.
Fall in love?
Kiss, kiss.
Fall in love.
Oh. I hope Mac isn't jealous. I gave you a kiss through the Zencaster. An indirect kiss, if you will.
An Indirect Kiss, if you will, which is the episode we're looking at today, Season 1, Episode 24 of Steven Universe.
Wow, we're getting up there. We're really getting up there.
This episode premiered September 18th, 2014.
Ayo. So long ago.
Ayo. Charlie, no post to give that we love the most? We're not shoving posts up someone's ass?
We got no new posts.
We're not shoving envelopes up someone's ass?
What the fuck? I would hope not.
Bring me the post I love the most. Okay, fantastic.
I'll shove an envelope up your ass if you really want.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. What the fuck? Hey, can we talk about Steven Universe and not shoving things up each other's ass?
No. So Steven Universe. So Steven and Connie, they're going up on the hill, I guess. Remember that hill?
They're running up that hill.
That's true. That is a meme.
It's also a really good song. What the fuck?
I just remember when it became a meme for a little bit because like everybody was covering it at the same time, and I was like, "Why? What happened? What's happening?" Yeah. So Steven's down in the dumps, my dude. He's kind of sad. Why's that? What's wrong with my boy? What's happening?
Not only is he sad, hey, there's a new fence on the cliff.
Well, that's kind of weird. Why is there a fence here? We have to learn why there's a fence. Connie is confused.
I'm sure Steven will explain, and he does.
He does.
The story starts that he and Amethyst were on top of the cliff, and Amethyst was toying around, being like, "Whoa, look, I'm gonna fall! Whoa!" And Steven's like freaking out because he's like, "Amethyst, please know I love you." And she's like, "That's okay. I'm not gonna fall. I'm a crystal gem warrior." And then she falls.
Yep, and she's like, "Wow, that's embarrassing." And she falls directly on her gem. Nothing could possibly happen here.
Nothing can possibly happen here.
She's totally fine. Everything is all good. Steven runs down there as fast as possible, sees if she's okay, and one of her eyes is a little jangly, but she's totally fine. Totally fine.
She's totally fine. But hey, just in case, let's check out her gem. Oh, it's cracked.
Yeah. Just a little tiny crack.
A little tiny crack.
The way that they just like pull down her shirt like forcibly.
I'm like, this is a kid's show.
Yeah, I know, right? And then Pearl's like, oh, you fell off the cliff? We need to put a fence up there. And that's why there's a fence. That's the end of the episode. There's no trivia. Goodbye. Goodbye.
What,
I said leave.
Goodbye, leave.
Leave.
Shut the fuck up. I'm still here because I'm here to talk about Steven Universe.
Oh my god, the episode didn't end! What the
No, it
fuck?
didn't. Surprise!
Because Connie still wants to know what's happening.
Yeah, Garden and Pearl, they figure out her gem's cracked. Steven obviously it ends the story, yeah, but then Connie wants to know what happens to Amethyst, and he doesn't want to tell her, but agrees on the condition that she'll let him try on her glasses.
And then she's gonna drink the rest of his juice, even though it's mostly backwash. Would you,
Yeah,
Robert, if I had some juice that you really wanted, but like I drank it and it was mostly backwash, would you want it? Would you drink it?
I mean, no, I don't even like doing that with Max drinks, and like we kiss.
You directly kiss, not just indirectly kiss.
Right? I'm not even a huge fan of that. And it's also so weird. It's really funny to Matt because he's like, homie, what the fuck? We're together. We have held hands. And I'm like, yeah, but that's yucky. I don't want to drink your drink.
Yeah, I have no problems with it. I will drink a friend's drink or a
I just got that special brand of the tism, I guess.
unless they are like super deathly sick, I have no problems with it.
Here's the thing. Mac has the immune system of a bull, so I have been routinely sick for the past month.
You
And
have.
I have. And Mac is just like, no, give me a kiss anyway. It's fine. I won't get sick. And then he doesn't. And I'm like, what monster are you?
Literally, I want to know how my girlfriend hasn't gotten sick. Like I've been like sick off and on since October once again, and
Yeah,
like literally she's fine.
we
She got
both.
she got COVID from work, not from me.
So I guess you and I just both found partners who have weird immune systems.
Yeah, apparently.
Mac was on the front lines with COVID patients without PPE, and he still has not caught COVID yet.
What the hell?
Mac is my hero, literally.
Apparently.
As they speak, Pearl and Garnet reveal that Rose Quartz had healing tears. And Stephen tries to heal Amethyst's gem with tears, but he's unable to cry. He's too tough to cry.
You know what, Steven? You don't need to be that cliche,
Yeah.
okay? Everyone and their mother literally has fucking healing tears in all sorts of magical girl media. It always fucking happens. Steven, be different. Be the change you want to see in the world.
All right, but Charlie,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just too tough to cry.
Just yesterday you were crying about snakes.
They don't have any arms.
Okay, have I mentioned that this is like one of the first lines that I heard from Steven Universe? Like ever was this scene.
I don't think you mentioned it, but that's on brand.
I literally, so I went to like Anime Boston. Somebody was hosting a magical girl panel, and they showed this scene, like on their PowerPoint in their panel, and they
Mhm.
were like, "Oh yeah, like this is like changing up the tropes of like magical girl media. Like it's a magical girl show starring a boy, and like he can't do the thing even though he's like." Not like the super most buff masculine dude. Like Steven is very effeminate, but he's still like, guess I can't cry. But also, Steven, you got healing spit. You'll find out. You got healing spit. It's okay. All right. Steven Universe.
Steven
Yeah.
Universe.
Steven, you don't have to be that cliche. It's okay. But yes, the you know what? The power to heal is within him because Rose Quartz has all these fucking cool powers
Yeah.
like that no other gem can possibly have. Why are you a healer and you have a shield? I don't know.
Healer, a shield. Later on, we find out Steven can fly. Is it flying or is it floating? I forget which one it is.
It's like controlling the speed of his fall.
If
It's weird.
Steven can control the rate at which he falls,
Yes. He can,
but can he control the rate at which a lobster falls?
he cannot control the rate at which a lobster falls.
Oh, beans. We're making that meme too. So they make their way over to the fountain, but almost everything is covered with brambles. Steven tries again, but he's still unable to cry. And Amethyst, at this point, her gem gets so fucked up she can only speak backwards.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go into it when we do the trivia because I think they have a whole section about what she's saying.
Yeah.
But like I found a YouTube video as well, that
Yeah.
says, like, it replays all the dialogue, forwards, so you know
Mm,
what she's saying. It's
yeah.
funny.
It is really funny.
Yeah, she's just being a silly little guy right now.
It's here's where my fucked up brain was going. Is that Steven realizes that Amethyst is suggesting that you should cause pain so you can tear up. I was expecting Garnet to like punch him.
I mean, if she had been in the scene, yeah, that
Yeah.
would totally have happened,
Yeah,
but, like,
that would have been significantly funnier. Just be like, we have to make Steven cry, and then Garnet just gauntlets up.
yep.
But no, he pokes himself on a thorn.
Yeah, he pokes himself on a thorn. Amethyst walks into a rock and makes her crack worse. Oh my goodness. Like, just so much shit that's happening right now. Garnet punches a rock into the thorn so that they can get through to the center of the fountain because they literally couldn't find their way in. And Pearl is just like so uncomfortable right now because she's like, oh no, this place sacred to rose quartz is not pretty and pristine as it once was. We don't want to destroy it by like throwing a rock into it. Like, deal with it. Literally, the way Pearl is just like, oh, this place is filled with your mother's healing lacrimal essence. Pearl is so fucking gay.
Always so horny for anything rose quartz.
Literally the most horny. So they're in the middle of the fountain and they find out that there's no no tears, no water. The fountain is turned off, I
Yeah.
guess.
Garnet and Pearl, they leave to find out what stopped the spring, and Amethyst's condition's getting worse because her limbs are growing long and thin.
And Steven is trying again to cry and it's not working. And hey, look, oh, Steven's got a headache from wearing Connie's glasses.
Oh, beans. Yeah, I guess that foreshadowing, I guess, for our question to you, wearing your friend's glasses. Now, that's a terrible question. But people have, especially when I was younger and I first got glasses, people are like, "Oh my god, how blind are you? Let me see." And then they'll put it on. They'll be like, "Oh, my eyes." I'm like, "Yeah, because you can fucking see."
Exactly. Exactly. I was also like that at one point, wearing other people's glasses, but now I has my own, even though I'm not that blind. I'm not too blind, but I still need them to drive. Anyway, this episode gets like a little bit serious, I feel like, in how
Serious, Steven?
how Steven's just like, why can't I cry? Why can't I cry? Like he's looking at Rose Quartz and he's just like, I never really like I never got to meet you and I don't know what you were like. And why don't I feel something here? I think you are feeling something, Steven. It's just not like you're just not reacting to it with tears.
Yeah, but eventually, through a lot of yelling and a lot of being like, "Why can't I feel?" He starts to cry, and a tear lands on Amethyst's gem, and it does nothing.
Also, Connie is currently crying while she's listening to this story.
Yeah,
And Steven's like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, just keep going. Just don't worry
just
about
keep
it.
going. Just keep going. Don't worry about it.
Also, the
Suddenly,
the thorns are attacking them.
yeah, that's a thing. And then suddenly, the spring like begins to work again, and it causes a massive overflow of healing water that causes the thorns to bloom into roses. I get it, rose quartz.
Every rose has its thorns. Right?
And this also heals Amethyst and returns her back to normal. Pearl and Garnet come back, and Steven's like, "Oh my god, hey, my tears work. They reactivated the fountain." And Pearl and Garnet are like, "No, we unclogged the drain. We unclogged something. Like we fixed it.
Yep. Steven, you do not have healing tears. I'm sorry.
You will never have magical powers, and we no longer want anything to do with you."
Yep. Uh-huh.
Now, that's not what she said, but it is what Steven like felt like. It's what she said.
I mean, like that's how it feels, sometimes when they're just like, "Oh, Steven, don't worry about it." And he's just like, I want to be like part of this. I want to like, you know, be friends with you guys still because it's not like they hang out with regular humans. Like actually, he wouldn't get to be a part of this whole thing if he wasn't a gem.
Yeah. He just wants to be included. So hey, let's go back to the present where Connie's like shocked. Steven admits, yeah, that isn't what she said to him. She being Pearl, and
That's why Steven's been so down lately.
yeah, Connie tells him that he can always come to her, magic or not. And the Wikipedia says that she's leaning in to kiss him.
It does look like that. Honestly, if
Yeah,
she's just like, yeah, yeah, I'll always be here with you, and she does like lean in, and then she gets the headache just as she's about to like lean in to kiss him.
yeah. I guess we'll never actually truly know if that was supposed to be like Connie leaning in for a kiss. I'm like, Connie, you're being very bold right now.
I think she was. I think that's what she was going for.
Mm,
And then the healing spit activated because
yeah,
Steven was feeling emotions.
yep.
Um
And
and
Connie can see. Woo!
what is she going to tell her optometrist?
What's she gonna tell her parents? Nothing. And then her parents won't realize for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, as she like literally takes the rose-colored lenses out of her glasses. Hey, is that symbolic at all?
Yeah, kind of is. And that's how the episode ends. Steven's running off to tell the gems that he has healing spit, and Connie pops the lens out of her glasses. And it's a good scene. The end.
Yeah, it well, okay, I feel like the first few times I watched this, I wasn't paying attention to like the name of the episode, and I was just like, "Oh, he's a boy, so he gets healing spit." Okay.
He was a boy, she
You
was a
know, like
girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
the feminine version of the powers is like tears and the masculine version is spit. Like that's what I was getting from like a very surface level reading of it. But now I'm just like, "All right, it's a kiss."
You know, that is a very good point.
Yeah, I was trying to be like he's giving a kiss.
He's
And
giving a kiss.
like I didn't really get that. I didn't really think about the name of the title. I was just like, "Oh yeah, like it's his spit or
Yeah, I
whatever."
had the opposite reaction when I first watched this episode. I saw the word indirect kiss. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? And I'm just like looking up for any instance of a kiss. And I did kind of catch what they meant the first time around, being like, oh, they're like indirect kiss. They're sharing the apple juice. Sure. It's a little weird to call that an indirect kiss,
Yeah.
but like, I get what they mean.
Well, like Connie's also like trying to go and kiss him, and like that's when the healing happens.
The healing happens.
It's interesting. I don't know.
It's just a little weird.
It is just a little weird, but eventually he actually does like kiss things to heal them
Yeah.
instead of just
And
like spit on them.
and this is, I believe, we only get a proper Stevani kiss, Stephen Connie kiss in the finale of Future.
Yeah, I think that's the only time we get like an actual kiss between them,
Yeah,
which
can
is
Ste
fine because they're still children.
they still are, even in Future. Steven's only 17, 18,
I want to say he's like 17 at the end of Future.
and Connie's like a year or two younger than him, right?
Yeah, because right now he's 13, she's 12, I think. So, like,
Yeah,
she's like maybe a year younger,
yeah,
maybe like a year and a half younger. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh well.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Charlie.
It's time for some trivia. Let's go
Um,
to the Crystal Temple.
let's go to the Crystal Temple. Ooh, woo. Um,
Oh, whoa.
The title refers to the indirect kiss Stephen gives to Connie by sharing his durian juice with her
Interesting.
that had his backwash.
In many countries, the episode's title was changed from An Indirect Kiss to Steven's Power to make it sound less suggestive of a kiss.
Did we talk about this in the censorship episode?
I don't think so, but like most of the censorship stuff that I took was like the queer censorship.
Yeah,
I tried my best to like I went through the whole thing and like took out all the stuff that was more queer representative.
yeah. Ignore all the straight stuff.
Yeah. Connie and Steven nearly had their first kiss until they were interrupted by Steven's healing powers, restoring Connie's vision. Connie appears to be more affectionate towards Steven than in previous episodes. This reveals that Connie has a romantic interest in Steven. The storyboard reveals that Steven most likely also returns his romantic interest.
In many other languages, Amethyst's backward speeches were normal.
Boring.
Mhm.
The story was told from Steven's perspective, so most of what happened could be how he saw it, such as Pearl being very clingy to Garnet could have been far fetched.
Or Pearl and Garnet are gay.
I think that's just how it happened.
Yeah. This is the first episode involving a Pearl flashback.
This is the first episode where all the crystal gems, excluding Steven, do not make a physical appearance.
I'm reminded of that's a thing they sometimes do in Doctor Who where they have a Doctor Light episode depending on the budget. So there were a few David Tennant episodes where David Tennant was barely in the episode.
Yeah. Like Blink.
Blink or Turn Left, which is like a harrowing ass episode of Doctor Who. And then they also do that. They
they're
also do the reverse of that sometimes.
they're there, but they're not as important to the
Prominent.
episode.
Yeah. And now it's time to decode Amethyst's messages.
So
'Cause
when she starts talking backwards, she's like, "Hey guys, what are you doing on the beach?"
ugh, I'm going home.
Sure. Hey, if your body can't cry on its own, you gotta make it cry. Which is when she hits herself in the face.
Yeah. Hey, the vines are coming to life and are gonna kill Steven, just so you know, which is when the vines are coming to life.
She honestly starts telling the future when she talks backwards too.
Yeah.
When she's screaming and stuff. Don't worry or anything. I'm good.
A little help?
Cheer up, will ya? It's so funny.
Yeah. And then cultural references. Amethyst's googly eye is a possible reference to Wilt from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and his googly eye in the special Good Wilt Hunting.
The large knot of brambles covering the fountain may be a reference to the manga anime series Blue Seed.
The fictional expressions that Amethyst pulls appear to be a reference to an internet memes of similarly strained expressions used as reactions to certain situations. That is such a long fucking convoluted way to explain what a meme is.
Yeah, that's When Amethyst loses the shape of her body, it may be a reference to Jiggler, a character in The Jiggler from Adventure Time.
Steven saying I'm really feeling it at Rose's Fountain might be a reference to Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles X, as he said the same phrase in his revealed trailer for Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, which coincidentally was first shown only 20 days before the episode aired.
In some ancient Hebrew traditions, saliva was said to have healing properties. That's cool.
I did not know that. That's cool. All right, Chara Bean.
Our continuity when Connie leans her head forward to Steven, there was a little piece of Connie played in the background, like her I assume that means her music sting or whatever.
Yeah. Connie removes the lenses in her glasses and continued to wear the frames all the way until Nightmare Hospital, where she finally stops wearing the frames for good, beginning with Steven's birthday.
Which episode is that? That's season 2. Okay. In the Off Colors episode, Steven finally manages to shed healing tears, which he sheds from mourning for Lars, whom he resurrects after he used his body as a human shield to protect the Off Color gems.
So I guess canonically, Steven only has functional trying powers once.
Yeah, most of the time he uses like spit or a kiss. I love in the movie when he's just like, well, I'm gonna heal the earth by kissing the ground like a million times. That's the funniest thing.
That is the funniest thing. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Robert.
Well, who are you giving your Pearl points to this episode? I'm giving it to the durian juice.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
2 episodes in a row where we both give the same point to the same thing.
Listen, that was the indirect kiss. You gotta give it to the indirect kiss.
No, okay, you can give it to the durian juice, I'll give it to Connie glasses.
All right. Her rose-colored glasses.
That she now took the rose out of. It's a metaphor. It's a symbolism. It's a parallelogram. That's not what a thing is.
We're getting rid of Rose. Okay, that's what we're doing.
But also, we're injecting a lot of Rose into the show.
Yep.
And what the fuck are we doing for the question?
Can you make yourself cry on command?
Kind of. I used to not be able to, and then my dad died, and now I think about that for too long. I can cry.
Yeah, that makes sense, Robert.
I can get an acting career now. I can cry on command. Woo!
So my little trick to getting myself to cry is usually yawning. Actually,
But Charlie, you're too tough to cry.
I am too tough to cry. Obviously, I never cried in my car when I was like really upset at work or anything. Never in a million years. Nope. Uh-uh. Never cried during a therapy session. Not once. Nope.
Therapies. Therapy. Therapy. I can.
Well, this was a great episode.
This is a great episode. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Robert.
If every podcast were perfect.
We wouldn't have the bits.
Good morning
Good afternoon.
and good night.
You can follow this podcast socials at The Bits SU Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our Diamond line through thebitssupod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, and I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Damn is spelled D-A-M. If you want to hear more from me, check out one of my many podcasts. I have a Once Upon a Time podcast called Entering Storybrooke, a Kim Possible podcast called That's a Sitch, and an Osman Verse podcast called the Truum Grammar Book Club.
The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Skywalk Before You Run, a Star Wars podcast where your host, Mary Clay, watches Star Wars for the very first time.
On my first podcast, That's What I'm Tolkien About, I experienced the world of J.R.R. Tolkien for the first time. Now, I'm turning my attention to a galaxy far, far away. My name is Mary Clay, and I am embarking on my first ever journey through the world of Star Wars. Join me each Tuesday as I drive deeper into hyperspace and discover what this vast universe has to offer. My guests will become like Obi-Wan Kenobi as they guide me through this adventure. The sequel trilogy is good information to have because I didn't know what to refer to those movies as.
There's a sequel trilogy, and then there are 2 spin-off movies that have come out in the last, 10 years.
Okay, so very similar to Shrek. Shrek had the original trilogy, and then it had some spin-offs with Puss in Boots.
Yeah, exactly
like that.
Listen to Skywalk Before You Run every Tuesday wherever podcasts are found.
Just I
Getting
am
old? You are old.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up right now. I am young at heart.
Remember how Luke was so young?
Luke is 20. Luke died when he was 24. That's that's senior citizen.
That's a senior citizen right there.
Us at 26 are feeling that.
I'm a skeleton. I don't know about you.
Skeleton. I am gay.
I'm a spooky, scary skeleton.
Deus Ex Media.